Black sheep of Reddit. What things make you the odd person out in your family? Every member of my immediate family has a minimum of 2 university degrees. I bailed on community college after 2.5 semesters. My parents are both over 6 foot. I ended up being 5 feet 6 inches on a good day. My parents are super athletic. I ended up doing lots of theater and was embarrassingly bad at sports. There are other things, but I don't think I turned out quite how my parents imagined. I should have been a volleyball playing supermodel, and instead I became an artsy little potato, an uncoordinated little spud. They still love me, somehow. At least you're a lovable spud to your parents, lol. My sister's got the good looks. When you are attractive, even if you're an introvert, people go out of their way to talk to you. Not if you're ugly though, lol. I'm also not studious. Same. Both of my sisters are really good looking and I'm just unapproachable. I'm good academically though, but that doesn't help when no one wants to talk to you. I'm the only one who's clung onto their northern accent. My older brother's gone all posh, my sister's gone all southern, and my younger brother has pretty much adopted the local accent. The North remembers. Leading a normal, non-dysfunctional life. I got a high school degree, a college degree, a good graduate degree. I'm licensed in my field. I'm pretty happy. Travel here and there. Live comfortably but nothing over the top. You'd think they'd be happy for me. Nope. They're angry about it. Not a single blood related person at my wedding, and they still haven't seen my 7-month-old. Name checks out. I'm the only one in my whole family who doesn't like ketchup, and have lived my whole life so far scared of it. They tried convincing me when I was much younger into eating the colorful ketchup, green and purple, but I still didn't like it. So they've just proceeded to tease me about it over the years. Usually they act like they're gonna squeeze some in my plate of food, which scares me shitless. But it doesn't stop there. I've had them wipe it on me on multiple occasions. Usually on my face somewhere. It's so fucking disgusting and I hate it. Both the ketchup and how my family acts. That's so mean. Disliking something and joking is one thing, but wiping it on you is just rude and a waste of ketchup. I am the only divorcee. Unlike the previous generations, I do not stay and put up with abuse. I went to counseling. I tried to fix my marriage, but the abuse just kept ramping up. So I took my son and left. I watched my father abuse my mother and my siblings and I all through my childhood. I didn't want that for me or my son. Good for you. You recognized that you weren't in a good situation and you made it out. Honestly, you shouldn't be the black sheep. I never considered myself the black sheep, but honestly I could be. My father and his side of the family are anti-vax and some are even flat earthers, which I am not. I have the largest amount of diseases out of the family. Psoriasis, fricked smell, constant itches, ect, which I think could have been due to my dad not giving me certain vaccinations even though he claimed he was forced to give me all of them. My mother is anti-vax because I was born with autism. I was vaccinated but my younger siblings weren't, in fear that they would have it too. Honestly, some parents are just stupid. Being neurotypical. My parents love bragging about their special autistic children, and I'm their only kid who doesn't have autism, as far as anyone can tell. It's really frustrating when your parents don't even bother mentioning you to their friends just because you don't have autism. I can't relate to this, as I do have autism, but I have seen siblings get left behind for being normal kids. It's sad and I hope your life improves. I grew up dirt poor. My wife and I worked our asses off to get me through college. I earned a master's in engineering. I am dedicated to my career and last year I made over 2.5x my nearest sibling, who is a teacher, of 5 living siblings. 3 don't work, 1 gets by, and 1 earns a decent living as a teacher. I am the black sheep because I am successful and it makes it hard to talk to my siblings. I just have very little to talk with them about. I love most of them, but we have nothing common. DJ Khaled, suffering from success. My Asperger's and religion. No one in the house seems to consider my Asperger's and why I have problems with a lot of crap how I do things. To top this off, they're always trying to convince me to pray but also tell me it won't work if I don't believe, but I can't force myself to. I agree with the Asperger's part. I have autism and my family just don't get it. few reasons for different family. Mom's side, I don't drink and get high all the time, also not super uneducated and rude. Dad's side, not a religious nutcase who spreads hate to anyone that is gay, not Christian, not white. I'm the only gay one on either side of my family, and it's a large family. Most are pretty accepting, but it definitely makes me stand out, lol. Same. Statistically, I'm probably not the only one, but I'm the only one who's out after over 10 years, so. Tons of things only I know, and that nobody would be happy to find out, but a more light-hearted example is waiting till I was 32 to get married. I have a learning disability, NVLD, and developed trust issues after the passing of my fiancé. Those alone were enough for my siblings and parents to slowly drift away from me. I also wanted to find a career as a social worker, while all of my siblings are working for banking corporations and tech companies. I've never been one to do something purely for the money, because I've always wanted to find and do something meaningful. To be fair, my parents did have to pay expenses and put food on the table for 7 children, so I do understand where they're coming from. I don't mind being the odd one out in my family, since it's just a title to me. I'm still really close to one of my siblings, and he is someone I can count on to be a great older brother to me. I'm the only person in my entire family from both sides who had not been a straight A student, but also I'm the only person outside of my mom who has finished high school. On the smaller side, don't smoke, don't drink, never did anything illegal, never did drugs, and like mother, was the only one who never cheated on my partner. Anxiety, depression in a house of people who just don't understand why you feel that way. Had a kid at 19. Only child to not have completed college on schedule. I've attempted a couple of times, but ended up dropping due to above mental issues in addition to feeling forced into studies I'm not passionate about. Only one of my family who doesn't feel that extended family is all that important if they're not a regular part of my life. They're all social, I'm not. They all work at the same school, I don't. They're all short, I'm 6 feet 2. They all don't have glasses, I do. I can play 3 instruments. They have trouble comprehending a piano is a string instrument. Is that good enough reasoning? I'm the liberal of the family. The rest of my family are red hat Republicans. We have a decent relationship, but the conversations are never very deep, rewarding, fulfilling, due mainly to their incredibly narrow worldviews on most things. I don't talk politics anymore with them, because they were to get incensed by me correcting them on things they had read on FB or saw on TV and took at face value, assuming it was me lauding my college degree, journalism and political science. Over them, I'm the only one in my family with a degree. I think my dad is aware of how much I struggle with this, as he does try to have meaningful conversation with me, and I appreciate it. It's still hard, though. I can't really complain, though. They support me and care about me, and I love them. It could be much, much worse. The struggle is real. This last holiday, I found 2 safe topics of conversation: Harry Potter and SpongeBob. Anything else gets heated. I'm a guy with longish hair, like normal guy haircut but longer by a bit. Everyone's telling me to get a haircut. I tell them if I get a haircut I can cut your hair any way I want, then they don't do it for the day. Same. I have long hair while every other guy in my family is bald. They just won't shut up about it. I'm the youngest of 3 brothers. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life after high school, so I was kind of just a loser working dead-end no-skill jobs. They would give me crap and hint at how I'm a nobody. I felt super depressed and worthless, so one day I made the rash decision to turn my life around and joined the military. I thought my brothers would be proud of me for making something of myself, but after 7 years of being in the military they never once made an effort to come see me when I came home on leave. So, black sheep by no longer being a loser? Been to prison, never done drugs, and bisexual. No one else in my family has a criminal record. They've all tried most drugs, and no one else in my family is gay bi. In fact, I'm not openly bi for fear of being judged harshly by my family. My grandmother and thus the rest of my family on my dad's side don't like my mom for some reason. Probably because she is amazing. This has made my sister and I the odd ones out. None of them talk to us, even at family gatherings. so I haven't seen any of them in 5 years and I jaff. Mostly just a loser. My cousins have siblings. I was an only child. They could find friends and activities they loved, while I only found that I wasn't very good at anything. Got really depressed and put all my time into video games to distract myself, but now I don't have anything in common with them and don't know what to say as to the divide gets larger. To be more specific, struggled with a combination of type 1 diabetes, learning disability, and how I look and haven't been able to come out of it I guess, and they just flourished. I can burp the national anthem, and also any other song. Also can speak using burps. Fun part is I can provoke the burps by myself without needing of a soda. No one in my family has ever traveled outside of the US, except to all-inclusive resorts that may as well be America. Tropical version. I've been living abroad as a digital nomad for 3 years, in more than 40 countries at this point. Oddly enough, being too normal, as in a stable loving relationship, own a home, and have 2 kids and a dog, didn't exactly follow the blaze your own trail, frick conventional society part of the family, or the legitimate crackheads and felons on the other side. I'm just too white picket fence. Direct quote from my cousin. This may sound weird, but I'm the only person in my family who is not classed overweight. I am a healthy weight, 22.1 BMI, as I play football often. It can't be blamed on age-related activities as I was growing up either, as my brother, only a year or so younger than me, it's still quite overweight. It annoyed my parents as they couldn't hand my clothes down, so they had to buy new pairs of clothes. I try to maintain a healthy diet and I see lots of perks. For example, I can easily outrun them and they think I'm a speed demon or something, but I'm not as physical as them, which they took advantage of. I pack a solid punch, but boy can they barge. Kinda felt left out when my dad would always pick my younger brother for errands even though I am slightly stronger. For those confused, my bro just has brute strength, like he throws his weight into people, but I can lift, press etc. more than he can. Sorta like body shaming, but the other way round. I get on well with them, but my dad just prefers my bro to me cause he sees him more like himself. I love reading and writing and almost always have my earbuds in, listening to some type of music or video on YouTube. At least it was like that for years and I'm getting back into it now. Kinda like a millennial Matilda LOL. I'm an agnostic, lesbian liberal pursuing a degree in music in a family of conservative Christians who all have jobs in the STEM field. On my mother's side, she's the only abrasive open one. Everybody is needlessly polite and PG, even though the youngest family member is 16. So whenever she or I are involved, we try to be more blatant to get others to be open. Doesn't really work, but they're accustomed to our behavior. I'm with the tallest in my whole family with 14, and my parents and my brother are more on the chubby side, while I'm skinny to the bone. The last time I was at my normal doctor he told me, "Father, he isn't yours. You must see it too." Jokingly, I hope at least. Leukemia. After that, all my priorities shifted. My large family are all super competitive and successful, but money and social status means very little to me, and I'm not willing to value myself so much more than others to justify a hotshot job. Anyways, the answer is probably leukemia. I'm very kind and have little material possessions but genuinely happy. My grandpa is a Catholic deacon, used to teach in university and is loyal to old family values. I am an atheist, never finished high school, lost my virginity when I was 13 with an 18-year-old girl I've met 1 week before. The family actually asked my mom if she wanted someone else to take care of me. She told them to frick off, and now I have a good job in a good place with a good pay. I'll buy a house soon and I'm taking care of my mom. They're hyper-religious, ultra-conservative, and obsessed with sports. I'm agnostic, liberal, Democrat, and don't give two shoots about sports. Family gatherings are fun. I was considered strange for wanting to read. No one in the family read at all, and once at my maternal grandparents' house, I was so desperate for anything at all to read, I had to read box labels. Finally found 2 very old copies of Reader's Digest and read them over and over. Thought the visit. When visiting my father's relatives, they would comment that there I was again with my head in a book, as though there was something wrong with that. They just sat around getting drunk and making nasty comments as I recall. Books were an escape. Weirdly enough, it is using modern technology and having a basic understanding of it. My family is almost illiterate when it comes to technology. My sister refuses to use anything newer than a dumb phone and will not let her sons have video games. My mother had a meltdown because their antivirus on the computer wanted to update. I had to install my stepfather's Chromecast, which meant going into the browser. I have a degree in media technology specialized in video games. I have both a freelance job doing UI and UX, and I teach game design. My mother insists on just telling people I teach without revealing the shameful subject. Black guy who came from a humble southern background. So many things. My willingness to try new things food and experience wise is the biggest one. Out of everything, this story sticks with me. My dad worked at a country club that was almost exclusively white people. As a cook, he came home telling a story about how they had to prepare these hard rolls to go with dinner that evening. And then he said, "I don't know what's wrong with white people. Who the heck eats hard butt bread? I bet Krispy Kreme 87 would." And then my whole family turned and looked at me like an alien. I'm the only person in my immediate family who finished college, and to top it off I have an engineering degree. It puts me on a weird financial footing in comparison to my parents and older siblings. My older sibling is 20 years my senior. My older extended family who finished school all have accounting degrees. So everyone just knows I work in computers. I'm agnostic, but explaining that to my Southern Baptist mom would make her physically sick. And to top it all off, I'm a big ol' homosexual. Because I'm so different, I've jokingly asked if I was adopted or if my older sibling is my parent and my mom has been covering for her. The response has been rapturous laughter and a firm no. Bisexual, atheist, Democrat, don't really give a crap about sports and athletes, would rather play than watch TBH. Take your pick. I get to see the MAGA hat hanging in my parents' kitchen and hear about how great Donald Trump is on a regular basis. Pick any. Atheist, vegan, queer, fit, traveler, performer. I did not set out to be this snowflake. Why? I just followed my heart. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.